I genuinely used to think happiness was something you unlocked after becoming a better version of yourself. Like I thought one day I would finally wake up prettier, more productive, disciplined, more healed, more confident, and suddenly life would feel easy. I thought happiness was waiting for me at the finish line of self-improvement. And honestly, for the longest time, I lived like that. Every single day felt like a project. I was constantly trying to fix myself, fix my routine, my body, my mindset, my future. Even when life looked fine on the outside, my brain constantly acted like something was missing. And I remember having this weird moment one morning. I had my coffee, my little cute playlist was on, I had candles lit in my room. I was technically having one of those aesthetic, productive mornings everyone online romanticizes, but I still felt emotionally flat. Like, why did my life always feel like something I was trying to improve instead of something I was actually living? And around that time I started noticing something really interesting about genuinely happy girls. Not fake happy. Not Instagram caption happy. I mean genuinely happy. The kind of girls who just feel light to be around. And what shocked me is that they weren't necessarily the richest girls or the prettiest girls or the girls with perfect lives. They just experienced life differently. They knew how to stay connected to life while living it. And honestly, I think a lot of us forgot how to do that. I think one of the biggest things I noticed is that happy girls know how to make ordinary life feel exciting. And I don't mean in some unrealistic love every second of your life way. I mean they genuinely allow themselves to enjoy little things without needing everything to be huge all the time. Like they get excited over trying a new matcha place. They make playlists for random moods. They wear cute outfits even if they're literally just going to Target. They romanticize rainy days and grocery shopping and Sunday resets. And I know that sounds small, but I actually think it changes everything. Because social media kind of trained us to believe happiness has to look dramatic. Like, unless you're on a yacht in Greece, or moving into a luxury apartment in New York, or having some huge glow-up transformation, your life isn't exciting enough. And I think that mindset slowly disconnects you from your actual life. Because real life is mostly tiny moments. It's morning coffee. It's late night talks. It's laughing in the car. It's hearing your favorite song randomly play in a store. It's little things. And I realized the happiest girls I know are not waiting for massive life events to finally allow themselves to feel good. They know how to make a random Tuesday feel special. Meanwhile, I used to think happiness was hidden inside achievement somewhere. Like, okay, once I hit this goal, I'll finally relax. Once I make more money, I'll finally enjoy myself. Once I become prettier, I'll finally feel confident enough to live fully. But the problem with that mindset is your brain keeps moving the finish line. You achieve one thing and immediately create another thing you need before you can deserve happiness. It never ends. And another thing that completely changed me was realizing I do not have to believe every thought I think. Because my brain used to ruin genuinely good days for me. Like I could have 10 nice things happen and one awkward interaction, and suddenly my brain would act like my entire life was collapsing. I would replay conversations for hours. I would assume people secretly disliked me. I would compare myself constantly. And the crazy thing is I treated every thought in my head like factual evidence. If my brain said something negative, I immediately believed it. And one day I realized, wait, thoughts are literally just mental notifications. That's it. Some of them are useful. Some of them are completely dramatic and irrational. Sometimes your brain is just tired. Sometimes you're overstimulated. Sometimes you need water and sleep and less TikTok. But unhappy people tend to merge with every thought they have. Happy people observe thoughts without building an identity around them. There's a difference between I feel insecure today and I am an insecure person. That tiny difference changes your entire emotional experience. And honestly, learning that saved me from so much unnecessary suffering. Because not every thought deserves a TED Talk in your head. Some thoughts genuinely need to be ignored. Like I used to spend hours trying to analyze why I felt weird or anxious or unmotivated. Now sometimes I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm overstimulated and need to go outside. Revolutionary, honestly. And I also realized something kind of ironic. The periods of my life where I obsessed the most over becoming happy were actually the periods where I enjoyed life the least. Because I entered this era where I treated my entire existence like a self-improvement competition. Every second had to be optimized. Every habit had to be productive. Every morning routine had to look Pinterest-worthy. I was watching 20 videos about healing and discipline and becoming my highest self, and somehow I became less connected to myself in the process. Because I wasn't actually living anymore. I was monitoring myself constantly. And the happiest moments of my life never happened while I was obsessing over happiness. They happened accidentally, while laughing with friends until my stomach hurt, while driving at night listening to music, while baking something badly at midnight, while being fully present in a moment instead of analyzing whether I was happy enough inside it. And that's when I realized happiness usually shows up sideways. It's a side effect. You don't catch it by chasing it directly. You experience it while you're busy living. And honestly, I think a lot of girls today are exhausted because we turned healing and self-growth into another impossible beauty standard. Now even your personality has to be optimized. Your nervous system has to be optimized. Your femininity has to be optimized. Everything feels like work. And I had to learn that you cannot heal your nervous system by treating your life like a performance review. And can we talk about how overwhelming modern life is for a second? Because I genuinely think social media made happiness harder for our generation. Not impossible, just harder. Because now we are exposed to thousands of lifestyles every single day. 1 minute, I wanted to become a corporate CEO living in Manhattan. 5 minutes later, I wanted a slow cottage or life with homemade bread and a garden. Then suddenly, I wanted to move to Paris and become mysterious and drink espresso in trench coats. Then I wanted to disappear from society completely and live near the ocean. Like my brain was consuming so many versions of life that I couldn't emotionally settle into my own anymore. And I realized I wasn't actually confused about what I wanted. I was just consuming too many lives at once. And I think that's happening to so many people. We keep ourselves emotionally detached from our real life because we're constantly fantasizing about another one. Another city, another relationship, another body, another career, another personality. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself. Ambition is beautiful. Reinvention is beautiful. But there comes a point where constantly imagining different lives prevents you from actually experiencing the one you're in right now. And happy girls understand this. They commit emotionally to their lives. They stop reopening every single decision every 5 minutes. Because you cannot enjoy a life you refuse to emotionally arrive in. And honestly, one of the biggest shifts in my happiness came from the people around me. Because I used to think relationships only affected you emotionally in obvious ways. But certain people literally affect your nervous system. You know that feeling when you leave certain hangouts feeling drained for no reason? Or when you constantly overthink how someone feels about you? Or when you feel like you have to perform around people to stay likable? Yeah, your body notices that. I used to spend so much energy trying to seem chill enough, or funny enough, or interesting enough around emotionally unavailable people. And eventually, I realized real connection does not feel like auditioning for acceptance. The happiest girls I know have relationships where they can fully exhale. They feel emotionally safe. They feel understood. They don't constantly feel like they're fighting to keep people interested in them. And once I started protecting my peace more carefully, everything changed. I stopped forcing friendships that felt one-sided. I stopped chasing validation from people who enjoyed being hard to reach. I stopped romanticizing emotional unavailability. And life started feeling softer after that. Because humans are not designed to emotionally regulate alone all the time. We need connection. Real connection. Not just attention. And there's a huge difference between those two things. And I think the biggest thing I learned through all of this is that happiness feels much quieter than I expected. I thought happiness would feel intense, like confidence and excitement and constant motivation and having your dream life fully figured out. But honestly, real happiness started feeling like peace. Like waking up without immediately wanting to escape my life. Like enjoying simple moments again. Like not overthinking every text message. Like laughing more. Like feeling present in my own life instead of constantly mentally living somewhere else. And of course, I still have bad days. I still overthink sometimes. I still compare myself sometimes because I'm human. But now I understand that happiness is less about building a perfect life and more about building a life you can emotionally stay connected to. And I genuinely think that's the difference. The happiest girls are not girls with flawless lives. They're girls who learned how to stay soft and emotionally present in a world constantly trying to overstimulate them. They protect their peace. They enjoy little things. They let themselves feel joy without needing permission from achievement first. And honestly, I think that's the kind of happiness actually worth chasing. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.